What's good? What's good? What's good, YouTube? What is good? Hey, I'm back with another one. Today, had another great day. I want to show y'all how we caught these QQQ calls and these Tesla puts. So, okay, this morning, QQQ was definitely like kind of, very violent to start the day. And I like that. I want to see good movement. I was really just wanting to wait for real until we got to a certain area, which is the pre-market high and pre-market low. I was really waiting on it to do that, right? So as you can see, I always like to mark my first 5-minute candles, the high and the lows, the 5-minute open range breakout. And we were bouncing off of this put entry on the daily right here for the strat levels. And so this first candle, like I said, it was a 3 candle. It was pretty strong, and then immediately was followed up by a fail 2 up. So what I was looking for initially, I was looking for a break of this to the downside, or I was going to take puts. So the bottom of this candle right here, if it was going to negate this fail 2 up, like not negate it, but if it was going to trigger this to the downside at 724 and 43 cents, I was going to get in puts because that's a mean rejection. But we held support right here on this line while we bouncing. Well, we had this group over here, these actual right here, these group of buyers that I feel like it was holding it up. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and check and see if we're going to just, go ahead and bounce back to the upside and go back up. Because I was like, okay, I'll get us in calls if we take out this fail 2 up. So this candle, I was looking to see, okay, if we break below that, I'm like, we're going to get in puts. We're going to get in puts definitely. But if it pushes back to the upside, then I'm going to get us in calls. And so I waited. I didn't even wait till it negated. I got in at like 8:42, I think, which is 9:42 in New York time. Yeah, so that's what time I got in on these calls. So I called, what did I call on QQQ? I called 7:30 calls. That's what I called. I got in 7:30 calls, and this was the 5-minute chart. I think I ended up checking the 2-minute time frame just to kind of get a little bit more detailed and see what was going on. So when we let's see, let's find 9:42. Yeah, so 9:42, I got us in right here because we were pushing. We were pushing right here. So this candle, let me move this over. Yeah, right here, this 9:42 a.m. candle right there. We broke above this 5-minute ORB. I was like, okay, we're bullish. We pulled back, and it was perfect. We just had to go through like a little bit of a drawdown, and then after that, we pushed up. And the target was to hit pre-market highs. And so we pushed up, got a bull flag right here, and pushed up again. And so we were like, I got out right at the top on right here on this last one, and it was right at 100%. So we were out. You know what I mean? We were out of that play. It was pretty simple, pretty easy. Let me go to the 5-minute. So if you can see on this 5-minute, we just had a regular 2 up. It just wasn't. You could tell the market was trying to reverse. Let's go to the 10-minute. So we were pretty much out when the market did this, gave a fail 2 up. We were already out. We got out the top, and then I ended up starting to look at Tesla. I wish I would have stayed on QQQ because the break of this candle would have been, phenomenal, because this fell 2 up on a 10-minute, told you everything you needed to know. Right here, this candle right here. Once you break the bottom of that candle, the floodgates opened up. It opened up. Like, it was like me going back and looking at it, because like I said, I try not to overtrade or do too much. Like, this would have paid us way more. It's like we got 100% on this little bitty move, like, because I missed SPY calls. I was going to get in SPYs, but that's the reason why I really was trying to just kind of see what side of the momentum was on. Like, SPY was pushing really hard, and the first part of the morning for QQQ, they were struggling a little bit, and they just kept going. They kept getting knocked down just a little bit. And I was a little bit patient. And of course, like I said, I bring in my VWAP. We was above the VWAP on a 5, and that was enough for me. You know, being above the VWAP, I'm like, okay, we're pushing up to the upside. We got above the 9 and the 20. By the time we did all that, we got above all the EMAs, and we got at this top right here. And like I said, I was scaling out along the way. Like I had multiple contracts, and I kept scaling out along the way. And that's how we do it. I was really trying to shoot for this pre-market high, but they didn't get it. And then after that, I was going to try to go for up ADR, and up ADR is right here at 732. So I planned on, like I said, just trying to hold, but I just kind of felt like price action was like real weak. So I was like, let me go ahead and get out, and then I'll maybe get some more calls if it pulls back and then go back to the upside. But it just kept failing. Like once we broke above this 5-minute open range breakout, we got above the VWAP, we got above the 9 EMA. That was enough for me to see, okay, we're pushing back to the upside, right? We're pushing back to the upside, and that's how I like to play. The 15-minute ORB, I looked at that too, but I was already in based off the smaller time frame, the 5-minute and the 2-minute. Another thing you can do to look at to see if the trend is going to break. This is what you can do right here. Draw a line of support, broke, and then that thing just, I mean, it melted. I'm real like damn, I'm a little salty that I didn't get us in puts, because I mean this thing just kept going. Like it, I mean, no mercy in the market. No mercy. No mercy. Like Hughes got beat up. They got beat up real bad. So, but to see this full on reversal, let's go to the 15-minute. Right here. You had the 15-minute time frame, and you had the 10-minute telling you. So you could have got in on puts right here on QQQs, and then on the 10-minute, it gave you an even better entry. So I'll draw a line right here. So this could have been the first entry. Fell to up right there. I'll make that orange, and let's go to the 15. And then on the 15, if you missed the 10-minute entry, you could have waited for the 15-minute counter to close. And then boom, that was another entry for puts. Once they came, it was over. It was over for the rest of the day. And then pre-market lows, they tried to bounce a little bit. They lost pre-market lows, went back into it, rejected. So they lost it, pushed back into it, resistance. Tried again, resistance. Just staircase down the whole time, just a staircase down. So, like I said, I like to use the pre-market low, pre-market high as like an area of, you know, just a big reaction. And I like to see the market break out of the 5-minute ORB or the 15-minute ORB to either to the upside or the downside. So that's what I'm looking for. And then I want to know, okay, are we above the VWAP? Are we below the VWAP? And that is going to make me, you know, play to the side that the VWAP is on. So whatever side the VWAP is on, that's what the side is going to make me play towards. So if we're above VWAP, I'm looking to go calls. If we're below it, I'm looking to be bearish. But I like to look at those areas for, you know, big reactions. And then I use the ATR, the ADR as a place, the destination to play to, the pre-market high, pre-market low, the strat level. So there's different tiers that, like when I buy multiple contracts, I like to make sure that I'm scaling out along the way. You know what I mean? So let's go to Tesla now. I ain't gonna lie, I just got in because the momentum was so bad. When I looked at it, I was like, this thing is gonna keep falling. You had to fill two up right here on the 5-minute. So we broke that, fell. There go your fail two up. Looky. We got another one. They gave a fail two down, triggered it, went up, followed up right back with a fail two up. Fail two ups are bearish. Once you break the bottom of that, once it trigger, you can enter puts, try to take out the lows. It just flooded, just bearish. That's on the 5-minute time frame. Let's check. Let's go to the 10. Let's see what it looked like on the 10. The 10 is even more brutal because they're giving threes. Threes, broke below the 3, continuation down. Broke below this 3, continuation down. Let me turn off the ADR indicator. Look at that. 3 candle, broke below it, fell. Another 3 candle, broke below it, fell. Some people play threes. I don't really play threes that much, but I will. And you can clearly see it works with all of these, the fail twos, the threes. That's one thing I love about the strat. Shout out to Rob Smith. RIP to him. He definitely changed the game with the strat, and so it gave me really good structure, especially when it hits significant levels and like learning broad informations, all of these things. So get familiar with the strat. Like do your research, study, watch a lot of YouTube over it, and just go back and back test on the charts. On Tesla, it's really not hard to see, right? What I mean by that is, let me delete this. So you know how to draw your support and resistance, draw these things out. You know, okay, a 2 up, you can only look for a put entry. So when we broke below that, you know, here's the thing. We already had a downtrend shaping up. So I was already looking to see, okay, if Tesla break through, then they're going to try to bull flag out of there. But if they fail, it's a great chance they're going to continue down. They just sold it off real nasty because you got this right here. Boom. This is a channel now. Lower high. This is a lower high, lower high. And you can clearly see they're respecting this channel now. That's on the daily. Boom. Your entry will be right here. This candle right here is the 2 up. And with 2 ups, you have a fail 2 up and then you have a regular 2 up. And then you can play the break of the low of that. You know what I mean? So these things are like, when you start to see it over and over and over, like this right here is like a broad information. So like, and you can see, I already got this line drawn out to the bottom, but I'll put it in white so you can understand what I'm saying. Think of like a Pac-Man, like a Pac-Man's mouth. It's like a megaphone, like it's kind of like that. And you can see clearly it rejected. So boom, 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 boom. Look at that. I mean, that's what a broadening formation is. Like I'm telling you, when you see this stuff over and over and over, it gets a lot easier. But all right, I just wanted to make sure I update y'all. Like I said, this is the 3rd video that I've been consistent 3 days in a row. I'm happy about it. I'm about to start pushing this content out more and more. If you need a community that you can, you know what I'm saying, grow with and, you know, like I said, learn about the market in real time, please join the Discord. The link is at the bottom of the description. It's called SPX Blueprint. And I would love to have y'all over there. Like I said, I got a lot of things planned for us. I put a lot of great information in there. We study. We do some random charting on the weekends to go over like charts for the week and to get set up, and just a lot of good mindset things. And like I said, it's a great place to be. I'm a new group, but we've already had 1,000% win on MicroStrategy. We've already had an 800% win on Tesla. We've already had multiple 500% wins on Meta, like 200% on multiple times on SPY. We had over 100% on Costco. Like I'm 10 weeks in, and like we already had bangers, and like I got people that post their profits up in there. And so, like I said, the community is growing fast. I already got 65 members in 10 weeks. So they go to tell you I'm doing something right. Like I said, people just now finding out that I'm really starting to like just really reveal to the world. Like I know charts. Like I've been doing this now for like 5 years. It took me a little minute, but you know, you gotta just keep going. Any real trader know, in order to have success, you got to go through some wins and losses and then some wins again. So, but that's how you grow. You live and you learn. But my biggest goal is for not only for y'all to just be in a group, but for y'all to learn how to fish for yourself and understand why we in the trade or why we're cutting the trade. Like that's one of my biggest goals. I want to be able to help. And, you know, like I said, click that link in the bio and see you on the next trade, man. Other than that, see y'all on the next one, YouTube. Peace.